Hello everyone, I hope all is well. This is Badur Aid Alotaibi. I'm from Deakin University, object-oriented class. Today I'm going to explain our program, which is stock management program. We used to work on it before, so we come to our latest version of this program. Today I'm going to explain the principle of uh, polymorphism, abstract, inheritance, and encapsulation. As we can see, or first let me give you a brief about our program. My program performs a number of tasks related to transactions like sale, purchase, and making an adjustment for goods in a warehouse. So as we can see on the left side, that this program consists of some files. So we have like the main file, which is a program. This program basically interacts with the user and ask him like to choose one of these options. So for example, if you want to add new items stock to the warehouse, he needs to type in number one. Or for example, if you want to sell the stock, he needs to choose number three. If you want to print all the events happened in a warehouse, like buying, purchasing, selling, sale, making change like adjustment, all the transaction, he can print like a history about them just by choosing number 6. Or otherwise, if you want to exit and quit from the program, he needs to choose number 7. So let's go directly to the new changes to this version. In this version of the program, we add a new file which calls transaction. This basically this class, it's an abstract class called the transaction. And as we know that the transaction class, what's the reason if you have abstract? First, let's say that we need these principles like polymorphism and transaction, that we want like to avoid duplication, and also we want to increase the code quality. So rather than writing like many lines of code, we just need like to have like one, like let's say form, and from that form we can like making the use of it by using inheritance. So we have this class which called transaction. This class is an abstract. So from this class we inherit or have the three child classes, which is adjustment transaction and purchase transaction and sales transaction classes. This class is abstract because it should be a more general concept, so it can be valid for all the three classes, the child classes. And it should also treat all these three classes in the same way. We need the class to have its existing functionality. Maybe someone asks why we have the abstract class, since we can't, as we know that the abstract class can't have an object. We can't create an object from that transaction class since it's abstract. So we will say that we have it, we need to this class because we want to have its existing functionality, but without creating objects. So as we can see also here, that this class has like some fields, variables, and some properties. It's noticeably that this has the modifier protected, which is beneficial in the process of encapsulation. So protected, we use this like modifier, and is useful especially when we want just only our classes transaction and all derived classes, subclass classes, which is the child that we created, the sale transaction, the purchase and adjustment transaction. We need all these just to access to these fields, and we do not want this field to be public. So we making them like protected. Also, we can notice that here in the program that we have like the function method called execute, and this method is virtual. And the virtual here means that the virtual method here means that the child class can change how this method works. So we will go through over it when we choose one of the child classes, just to like showing what we said, what we are saying. So also we notice that one of the methods here we have is a print summary, and this print summary is preceded by the word abstract. It basically means that like I promise that any class will inherit from this class will like give a print summary method for that transaction. So for example, in our case, we have three child classes from the parent transaction class. So every one of these will have its print summary, will give a print summary. So let's have a look to one of the child classes. As we can see here that this is the name of the child class, followed by colon, which means it's inherit from that parent classes. So this class, this child from this parent class, and we can see that all the function or all the variables from this transaction will be included in this within this child classes. So as we can see, rather than writing and redefine all the variables from this class, parent class, rather than rewriting the methods and rewriting the variables, we will have it here in this class. And here for this the execute that I was telling you, that we will like have it was like followed in the transaction with the virtual, and here the child class will change this method work. So he used like these two lines to execute its desire, what he want to do. As we can see here also that this is the print summary. So as we can see that it was in the parent class, it was an empty, because this is like, as we can see, that it's like a promise. So this is like will every child class will execute its own print summary. Let's go to the meaning of polymorphism. We know about the polymorphism, that it's the ability for the programming tools to make use of different types in one context. And we can see this here. Here we can see this this function receive an object from the class transaction, and here it doesn't care what kind of transaction is, as long as it is a transaction, it tells it to execute. So we know that the type of transaction that we have three child. It's a sale, purchase, and adjustment. So here it doesn't care. This function doesn't care what type of transaction to execute. So in this case, we can see the beneficial of the polymorphism. Rather than rewriting this function based on the type of transaction, so we just having like one single context which can carry many types and shapes of the transaction. I hope that I make it clear, and thank you so much for your attention.